it seems like majority of anime-onlys of One Punch Man are really enjoying the ride. I've seen many Chibits contact me in the past week ever since I did my episode 2 review of One Punch Man. I've seen many of you tell me like, oh my god, this series is great, and Saitama is a good character. Just many different comments was sent to me through private message, and I'm really glad to see how so many are really enjoying this series, because us manga readers have been reading this for quite a long time, and it's been a very fun series, and to see how there's new fans coming into the series and enjoying it, and seeing how so many anime-onlys are starting to see why we love it so much, it really makes me happy. So to get right into something that I know many are going to ask me, how is the adaptation coming along when it comes to One Punch Man? Don't worry, Madhouse is doing some good work with the adaptation. It's pretty much following it panel by panel while adding in little certain keyframes that look even better some points than the manga itself. But for now, though, I'm just going to say don't worry about the adaptation. You know it's bad when our main male character, Saitama, like when he sees this villain, so like this villain that's buffing up, powering up and all that, and he's like, I'm strong, I'm Carnage, and you know, he's about to kill everybody. It's like, I will be in rage mode for an entire week. You know it's bad when our main male character, he's just sitting there thinking in his mind, like, okay, like, wait a minute. He's powering up 1 week? Saturday? And then he's like, I missed the bargain sale, and just fucking wrecks Carnage. Now, here's the funny thing about this, okay? The way the dialogue was done, it made it look like Saitama finally met his match. That's what that entire fighting scene looked like. It looked like Saitama was outdone in speed, power, and everything. And it looked like Saitama couldn't even fight back. And the way that scene was done, that was beautifully executed by Madhouse Studios, especially when it came to the way it made the viewers look at it, especially anime-onlys. I know anime-onlys that probably looked at that scene where Carnage was just beating the shit out of Saitama, probably thought Saitama was finally going to lose or get hurt, and to see how it came down to him wanting to buy something for a bargain sale, and that's what caused him to get hit. He wasn't even thinking about the fight. He was just thinking about a bargain sale. You know it's pretty damn bad. He's way too OP. So this is the comedy of One Punch Man. Now I think so many anime-onlys are starting to realize why One Punch Man is so fun, because it breaks the norm of what you see in Battle Shonen, Battle Seinen, any battle series. It just breaks the norm, because usually when you see a character like Saitama, he meets a villain that is incredibly strong, and eventually he meets his match, and then he has to train. He has to do a training arc. And it's like One Punch Man just shit on all training arcs in manga and anime or any form of literature. One Punch Man just shit on that alone, because this is what Saitama says his secret is behind his strength, behind his ungodly strength that is broken beyond repair. He says, I did 100 push-ups, 100 squats, and he also did 100 sit-ups. Now, thinking about that, it seems like a lot, but it's not a lot. There is many people out there, even in real life, that do way more than that, and do it for many years, longer than 3 years. So One Punch Man or Saitama saying this, it's pretty hilarious, because when you hear that, you're like, no, you're fucking lying. You're fucking lying. This crazy training you did made you lose your hair? Like, no. But what the funny thing about this is, it's made to be taken as a joke. For instance, Saitama was like, yeah, that's all I did. You might not believe me, but yeah, that's all I did. And so, it just goes to show you how Saitama just shit on everybody, because, like, you have the scientist dude, he's like, hey, I'm the next step of human evolution. I'm trying to achieve the next human. And I mean, his entire goal, or his entire motive in these past 2 episodes, were to achieve a higher level of humanity. And what made this funny about this episode, and kind of deconstruct some other shonen series you see, is that the main villain, not Carnage, but the scientist dude, you could have considered him to be like the main villain of a series. Like, I mean, let's put this dude in another series. Let's just take any random battle shonen, okay? Let's just use Boku no Hero Academia for reference, okay? This is just, you know, hypothetical. Let's say we put this scientist dude in Boku no Hero Academia, and we give him the exact same tech, the knowledge he has, the cloning material, along with being able to make someone like Carnage. Just imagine how broken that dude would be in another series. If this wasn't One Punch Man and he did not come up against Saitama, just imagine how broken that dude would have been. especially with his mind and how he was able to make someone like Carnage. So it goes to show you how One Punch Man introduces these supervillains that could be considered the main in-game final villain of mini-series, and then they get crushed in under an episode or a couple seconds like they're pieces of shit. And that's what Saitama did. He didn't even care about the fight. He didn't. Like I said, it was just a bargain sell to him. He's like, oh my god, I missed my bargain sell! And then just crunches the dude, and he's done. So yeah. That is the comedy of One Punch Man, and that is the beauty of One Punch Man, being able to shit on so many different themes or genres at once. So, next thing to move into. One thing I want to take and talk about, first things first, is the art, the Genos art, the modern art. I wanted to see that so bad. Oh my god, dude. Seeing Genos seeing Carnage just running down the hallway and all that, and he's dragging the scientist, and when he just fucking slaps Genos into the fucking wall, dude, just that head's in the wall, and he's like that is probably the most, how can I put it? That's probably the worst way to die, like, or any way to get knocked unconscious. Like, that is pretty fucking bad. Like, that's the ultimate face wall. Like, you know, the face desk, or, you know, face wall. Just that is face wall right there. He just got slammed to the wall and his head just in the freaking wall and he's just hanging like with no dignity whatsoever. That's too good. And the way it was done, it was just done so fast. Like, I think anime onlys or even us manga readers just did not have the time to process just how fucking hilarious that was, because he just got shit on so quick. This dude ran in, just crushed his face in, and then focused on Saitama. That's comedy gold right there, everybody. That's comedy gold. And then, after that, what happens to Saitama and Genos when they're fighting? You see Genos come in to fight Carnage in that big white room, and as they're fighting, it looks a really badass fight. You gotta love the animation and art that was put into that. Very artistic. And to see how the fight was done, and then all of a sudden, this dude Carnage is just whooping on Genos like it's nothing. And when you see how he blows back his flames, and it hits Genos, and his air goes into an afro. That was so good. Oh, One Punch Man, One Punch Man, One Punch Man. It's so freaking good. Oh, I'm so happy to see this animated. Just seeing these things not cut and then animated, even holding up to the ground or the merit of the manga, it makes me just so happy. It really makes me so happy. I cannot even begin to express how happy I am just seeing One Punch Man done like it is done, and using these references in a way, or these comedy points in a way that really just shit on other things in other manga and anime. Like the scene with the building, the 8-story building, like how the scientist is like, okay, we're gonna set all 8 floors up with traps. Now, let's just be fucking real here, okay? We have seen that situation a lot in literature. I know we all have. We've probably seen it to where, like, a supervillain's like, okay, I want to set these traps on these floor. I highly doubt these guys are going to be able to survive these traps, or it's probably going to weaken them in the process. And usually when you get a series like that, it could last up to maybe 20 episodes just going through the damn different floors. I've seen series do that. And just seeing how Genos just comes in, he's like, boom, just obliterates the 8-story building. It's gone. It just, like a couple seconds. Not one second, but a couple seconds, it's just gone. And what Saitama says just makes the entire scene so much better. When he's like, well, we could have, at the very least, have seen the villains, or the bad guys. Because usually, when it comes to stuff like that, you have to introduce the bad guys, get their name, gotta find out more about them. But no, it wasn't like that. Just obliterate the entire building. It's gone. Just done. And then after that, Saitama just going in and just lifting up metal like it's paper. Like, he just pulls up metal or titanium or steel, whatever. He just pulls it up and it's nothing to him. He just casually just pulls up metal and bends it like freaking paper. That's scary. And then also we come to find out that Saitama, he cannot fly. Like, he says, like, no, I can't fly. Humans can't fly. And of all things he would say, like, Saitama, do you not realize you have exceeded past the limits of humanity? Like, have you not seen how strong you are? And you're telling me that humans can't fly. I think that's no offense, but that's a load of bullshit. It's just like, you've exceeded past the limits of humanity, but you're telling me that humans can't fly. Don't use that same logic while you're sitting there running that fast as a human. Just no, that doesn't work. But it's funny. So Saitama can't fly, and when you see him fly, it's just him jumping really hard. Okay, so yeah, One Punch Man, good. It's good. Like, as I said, personally to me, this is my anime of the season. Now, not everybody's going to agree with me. I know. Not everybody's going to agree with me. This is just my personal preference, because I am a manga reader. I love One Punch Man. And just seeing this done like it's done, this is personally my anime of the season. And I hope it continues going like it does. I cannot wait for some future fights. Oh my god. Especially what's probably going to happen next week. Anime onlys, you're in for a treat next week. I'm just going to say, anime onlys, get your anus prepared. Next week is going to be fucking badass. If it is, if something does go down, if it does go down next week. So prepare yourself. It's going to be fucking epic if this certain scene does happen. So, yeah. You all have a wonderful day or night, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.